Yeah, repeatedly about the Charlie Kirk case. I want to make sure I'm extremely clear on this. I'm not looking to defame anybody. I defended TPUSA and Erica Kirk early on. The record is established. And I could not defend the undefendable as time went on, which is why I chose not to pursue, covering the event as media when they did the memorial. So listen, I don't mean harm to anybody, but Charlie's legacy, Charlie's spirit, and Charlie, he deserves justice. And all I see are lies and cover-ups when I wasn't looking for them. I absolutely was not looking for this, and the record is so clear on me saying this. But I have to go a little further now. Yesterday, I published a video in which I showed a court document of mass recusal of 6 judges in a federal district court in Tennessee. They refused to preside over Security Chief Brian Harpole's lawsuit for defamation against Candace Owens. And they said, well, we don't want anything to do with this. Okay, well, I can understand one or two of them having a conflict of interest, but all the judges, not possible. What are they afraid of? And I said this yesterday, and I'm going to reiterate it, and then I'm going to show you something from the comment section that opened my eyes. And I want to say this to all of you out there. All I want is justice. I don't want fame. I don't want money. I don't want accolades. I want justice because I so respected Charlie Kirk. And I told him that. I said, you might be the most pure thing out there in politics. And to a large extent, he was. Now, no one's perfect. We all fall short of the glory of God, but he was pretty darn close. And we lost, in my humble opinion and desire, a future president and a man who would put America first and not back down, which is why I believe he's not with us anymore. But some of you, or at least one of you, noticed something that shame on me and shame on the rest of us for not noticing. There's a really big take that someone wrote in on the comment section. And I read this and I go, wow, I actually had to walk away. I was so stunned. And I had to sit back and think and think and think about this comment in regard to the case. And it still has me in absolute amazement today. And I wanted to come on last night and I was going to respond. I said, no, no, you need to let this settle, Dave. And you need to come back with a reasoned response that's professional and fair. Well, I'm still where I was last night, which tells me my feelings are pretty much on the money. And the person that made that comment, my hat is off to you. And ashamedly, I have to say, I didn't notice this. I so noticed the preparatory actions, the cover-up actions of the assassination connected to it. When you're taking out SIM cards of cameras and you're not even paying attention to your friend, alleged friend, who's lying on the ground, and you walk away talking on your cell phone, don't give Charlie a second look, Mikey McCoy, Terrell Farnsworth, I'm talking about you and the cameras. And I'm looking at the what appears to be the signals, right? 5 seconds before. Oh, yeah, okay. I noticed all that, as did many people. But what I didn't notice was what I'm going to show you in a comment. And I'm just saying, holy crap, Batman. I'm still stunned by this. And you will be too. And you will never look at this case the same way when you see this comment. Some of you will go to the videos and you'll look around at what people have said. You'll go to Candace, you'll go to me, you'll check them out. And you'll come back and you'll say, oh, I never thought of that. It's revelatory. Anyway, we are brought to you by 7702, and I love to say this because if you're sitting on some money, can't go to the bank, okay, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, gold, silver, great ideas. You need to preserve your wealth, and gold and silver do that extremely well. And I've been with Noble Gold now as a customer for over 9 years. I've been an advertiser for over 10. But this is about also too with really large sums of money, and you don't want to put it all in one basket. Where do you want to go? You want to go to where that money is going to grow, pay you, and tax free. And it's what the wealthy have done for decades, courtesy of IRS Code 7702. Perfectly legal, above board, but they kept the process so complicated that it kept the average person from taking advantage of the same thing when they came into any kind of money. Well, Joe Lombardi has cracked the code. And as I found out, a lawyer friend of my lawyer for my estate trust, they've cracked the code too. But I don't know about them. What I know about Joe Lombardi and his chief operating officer, Marianne McAdory, who I'm interviewing tomorrow, what I have learned is they're above board. They've never had a Better Business Bureau complaint. They've never lost a dime of client money. And they are great at doing this. They're so good that people from my audience signed up, got the benefits, and then were so enthralled, they said, I'm going to help other people. And they became agents. And I met them when I did a guest appearance at a major public event for Ironhawk. And I'm just shaking my head and saying, why didn't I learn about this a couple of years sooner? Joe Lombardi actually had to reach out to me. And we had a couple of interviews, and they were so good. He came back and said, would you consider representing us? And the rest is history. You can ensure your financial future because this is recession proof. And the sacred cows behind this aren't going to be allowed to fail by the US government. Oh, we might lose the oil backed dollar. We may go digital. We may do all these other things that people are afraid of because of the economy. But this is recession proof because if this goes down, everything has gone down, including the tech pros, who, by the way, are doing this too. This process is 30 to 90 days long because they made it so complicated the average person couldn't do it. So Joe has to walk you through every single step and make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and federal regulators are going to be happy with everything. So you have nothing to worry about. It's worth a look. It's better than the bank where you'll lose money because of inflation. Go to dhhawk.com, dhhawk.com. Put in your contact information. They'll be in touch and they'll tell you almost instantaneously, is this good for you or not good for you after they ask you a couple questions. They don't want to waste your time. And quite honestly, they don't want to waste their time. And they got a high demand. So you're not going to be led on, pushed to anything that's not in your best interest. You hope that they say this is good for you because it will be really good for you. dhhawk.com. All right, let's take a look at something here. I'm going to bring something up and I'm going to read a comment here. And Jason Steverson. And Jason, I hope I'm saying your name right. I'd like you to reach out to me on email. It's easy to find. Um, because I'd like to talk to you. Here's his comment 12 hours ago. Man, I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned by this because I didn't think of this. And thank you for showing me my humility, Jason. Not one of them, meaning the security team led by Brian Harpole, not one of them drew their weapon in a protective defensive posture when shots were fired. You've seen the Secret Service when there has been an alarm about something. Oh, out come the machine guns, right? Where'd they hide those things? Yeah. Um, Not one reaction. This is a security team designed to protect. How do they know if there was a shot, which I don't believe there was, but if there was a shot, how do they know a second, third, and 10th shot weren't coming? Why would they not assume a defensive posture? Many people on the ground did when Charlie went down there. Oh, something's wrong. Get down, get down. A lot of people did that, or they ran. These people just stood, disassembled camera, and took out SIM cards, talked on the phone, and walked away without giving the victim a second look. Jason captured this. Now, here's what's really interesting. We get couple people that write in and said this. I never thought of that. You are so on point. It was all planned. This is why. This is the perception people are coming away with. Now, I'll say this to the people who are perpetrating, I think, a cover up. Okay, and the paved over crime scene that we're going to cover. Oh yeah, hang on. We got something from the court proceedings that's going to also make you sit up and take notice. You know, the Lord says the truth will out. Well, hopefully that's true. Justice for all of our friend Charlie, who did nothing but want to put Donald Trump in because he believed he was so for the American people, wanted to teach young people how to engage in civil discourse, how to put God, family, country in that proper order. And we lost that. We lost the best representative of that in the country. And as a Christian American, I had two defeats. And I had hoped one day that Charlie would become president. We needed his uncompromising but empathic nature. We needed a man of God committed to Jesus in the White House. And I don't care if anybody dislikes that statement or not. I stand by it. The Bible's quite clear, deny me before a man. And Jesus said, I'll deny you before my Father. We need a man of God, a committed man of God in the White House. Trump has paid some lip service. I can't say how sincere or insincere he is. I can't be the judge of that. But actions speak louder than words. And this war that we're in is not a good look for a Christian man when there was diplomacy efforts that could have been employed first. First, wouldn't it be better to talk and try to work things out? Okay, instead of firing first, we dropped the bombs in June. Joe Kent tells the story where Charlie cornered him in the East Wing and said, Joe, don't let the president go to war on this. And this is before the bombings in June, 13 months ago. Oh, but we want to taint Joe Kent's reputation. Do you understand he got 6 silver stars? Do you understand he had 11 combat deployments and he lost his wife in the line of duty? Hmm? You understand all that, people? And this is a guy that says information about Israel's involvement is being withheld. And Tulsi Gabbard backed him up, and now they're both gone from their positions. Do I have to say any more to show the collusion that's going on here? Okay. Jason, one more time. Not one of them immediately drew their weapon in a protective defensive posture when shots were fired. Totally unacceptable and unbelievable for a security team that's defending someone that should have been considered to be a high priority target. And if he wasn't a high priority target, then why did he have to have security? Now, sometimes when I go speak and I'm not sure about the environment I'm walking into, I'll have a security guy or two with me. I have done that. And I know one thing right now, under the same circumstances, guns would have been out. I'm Dave Hodges. For your consideration, pray that truth will come out because what can happen now in the aftermath is one, I want to see the people who participated in this to be rightfully prosecuted and convicted. I want justice for Charlie. But number two is preventative. One of the reasons I was so fascinated with the Kennedy assassination, and it wasn't out of mere glory or gore or love of the adventure. There was some of that element, but I didn't want it to happen to another president because when a coup d'etat can be committed against a president of the United States, then we don't have any kind of republic form of democracy. Your vote means nothing. If rich and powerful people say someone needs to be taken out, then your election means nothing. Your vote means nothing. And this is one of the reasons why I jumped in to the Kennedy assassination. I've said that many times. Jim asked me, Jim Mars, the late Jim Mars, one time asked me, says, Dave, why do you want to get into this? And I said, I don't want it to happen to anybody else because I want my vote to mean something. I don't want to live in a fake democracy. Well, we have a fake democracy again with Charlie. We have to have justice done. So people that perpetrate this kind of violence, whether they be foreign, domestic, or a combination of the two, they don't think they can get away with it. We need to do this to protect the future Charlies in our country. I'm Dave Hodges. Thanks for watching.